2020, and I'm your de facto representative for the selectmen today, Michael. We'll start today's meeting with a report from our Lima director, Mark Poirier.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Today's case is Massachusetts. Actually, I'm sorry, yesterday's cases. Massachusetts, 70,271 cases with 4,212 deaths. In the U.S., 1,238,040 cases with 72,284 deaths and 200,669 recovered.
Thank you very much. And making sure I get the last name correct, Esther Matone.
Good morning, thank you. As of this morning, we have had a total of 549 residents tested with 102 confirmed cases, 32 active cases, 64 recovered, and sadly, we have had additional deaths, so our death count is up to 6 this morning.
That is unfortunate. We don't have a lot, no special guests, but Dennis, do you have any questions that have come in today?
We had a few questions. Esther, it seems like our daily count, yesterday we were at 93, today we're at 102. Is it just catching up, or is it just, we're just racking up the numbers here?
We're having more testing taking place, so our numbers are going to increase. We are having a lot of family members that are being tested of positive cases, and they are in turn positive themselves, even though they're not really having any symptoms. So it is very important, if you are sick, that you do isolate from the rest of your family, designate a sick room, really try to stay away from them so that we can help minimize your family becoming ill as well.
Right. I know we had a lengthy discussion, or I attended the Board of Health meeting last night. They had a lengthy discussion on mask wearing, and I know our health agent, Bruce Wilson's here to give us an update on that.
Yep. Bruce, please join us.
He's appropriately attired. I need to get one like that.
Yeah.
These are special. It took me 6 weeks to get it. Hi, everybody. Governor Baker also has initiated a mask order. So on top of the Bellingham's mask order, it's now statewide. So everybody should be wearing a mask when you're out in public. No exceptions. Everybody's to wear it so that we're all protecting each other from each other. If you're out and you see people aren't wearing a mask, so if you give us a quick tip, we'll try to give those that aren't wearing it a friendly reminder. And again, the whole thing is that everybody is safe. So please wear your mask, wash your hands, maintain that safe social distancing.
Yeah. And Bruce,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, I think we could all agree that there's a right way and a wrong way to let people know that you're uncomfortable with the masks. And I think reaching out to the Board of Health, if it's a business, so that you can go down and pay them a visit and just have a good discussion, is a lot better than having confrontations in the street with people, whether you know them or not.
Right. I tend to walk tall and carry a little stick, not a big stick. And for the most part, 9 out of 10 people, when you mention it to them and tell them why and stuff like that, are pretty much cooperating. I mean, you're still going to have the few that aren't going to cooperate, and hopefully we don't have too many of them.
I mean, I have my mask and have frequented some stores locally. I went into Black Hawk Pizza the other day, and all the employees have them. They have a sign on the door that, don't come in if you don't have a mask. My daughter was going to physical therapy down at Active, and everyone in there had masks. They were checking myself even in the waiting room to make sure what my temperature was. So there are businesses that are doing it right, and those are the businesses you want to be going to. And if you find businesses, particularly, there's nothing worse than pulling up to a restaurant with a mask on and having someone bring your takeout order and knowing that they're not wearing a mask. So
yeah, no,
it all goes fine. So
the one thing to remember, if the store tells you that they're not comfortable with you coming into the store because you're not wearing a mask, I think you really should adhere to that. Try sending a designated person in that does wear a mask. That confrontation does nothing but cause grief all around for myself, the police. It's there's no need for it. If they ask you politely, or that they tell you that you're not going to be allowed in the store, you should really adhere to that rather than causing a big scene.
would you like to share the number to the Board of Health if anyone wants to call in to discuss, or just point out businesses that you should check on?
Absolutely. I mean, we have the generic email, which is on our webpage. My direct line is 508-657-2860. You can leave a message for me there. Again, keep in mind that if you leave a message after 4, I won't get it until the following morning, so that, the response time might be overnight, but we do take every complaint and look into it.
Thank you very much. And again, today is the first day for the governor's mandatory order for masks.
Yeah, we do have, quite a bit of real estate in Bellingham, north, south, and quite a few different towns surrounding and bumping into it. So, a lot of times we were getting and finding that the people that weren't wearing the masks weren't Bellingham residents and weren't aware of the policy. But now where it's statewide, everybody should be wearing it. I think we'll find fewer people without them.
Dennis, do you have any other
We-
questions?
Just on the masks, I know we still continue to get a lot of questions about when I'm out in public, when do I need to wear it? The questions are when I'm walking my dog, when I'm riding my bike, when I'm walking with friends. And obviously the answer is, a lot of it is common sense. If you're riding a bike, you should have your mask with you, because when you get into a group or there's people around, then you put your mask on. But if you're out walking by yourself, there's no reason to have a mask on. But if you get into a crowded space and on one of these trails that we have in town, you need to have your mask on. When you're walking your dog, the same thing. You have your mask on when you come and you're encountering people. And I think that's what the order says, Bruce.
That's great. And that's great. That's from Governor Baker's recommendation. If you're walking and you come in contact with somebody, pull the mask up until you're safe distance away. But you should be carrying your mask with you at all times now, because you never know when you're gonna bump into somebody or need it. But if you have an issue with your car, flat tires, something like that, you get up, you don't have your mask in. Obviously, whoever's gonna come service your car is now subject to you. So it's like, make sure you have them, carry them with you, and everybody can be safe.
All right. One of the questions we had, are we required to wear face covering when standing in line for takeout restaurants? And of course, the answer is yes. You're in contact with people. Someone's going to be bringing the food out to you. If you're standing in line, there's other people in front of you and behind you. They may be 6 feet away, but you're in close enough contact. You should have that mask on when you're there. So I think when you're pumping gas, if you're the only one at the pumping gas at a self-serve station, it's not an issue. But if there are other people there pumping gas, then obviously you need to have it on. So, and so on and so on. I think, as I said, we continue to get those questions. And some of them I think are more commentary because they saw somebody standing in line that didn't have a mask on, and they should have their masks.
And did everything go okay with the recycling center? First time it was open on Saturday?
It went extremely well. It was a soft opening, so we were not overwhelmed, and it went extremely well. Our people were wearing masks. We had a box of masks there. If anyone came down and didn't have a mask, we were able to provide one to them. We have a couple more questions.
Sure, please continue. Yes.
Someone had a question about spitting on the ground. And on the track, but common sense is you don't go around spitting in places where people walk. We've all been in athletics and sports, and I know people have a tendency to spit occasionally, but it's common sense. You shouldn't be doing that. That was a comment that someone had sent in. And then Esther, there's one here, and is it possible to include the ages of deceased in the daily email? I don't know that that's something that we want to do. I know it is public information on the death certificate. If someone really wanted to find out, they could request a copy of death certificates. Those are public information, but I don't think that's something that we would get into posting daily. I don't know what your thoughts are, Esther.
Yeah, I think this is a hard enough situation for the family of the deceased. If we give the age, then we're giving more information, and people might try to infer who the person was and infringe on people's privacy. And I just don't think that we should be giving that information. But like you said, if you want to go ahead and purchase the death certificate information, you certainly can have access to it. But I don't feel comfortable divulging that information.
Exactly. Suffice to say, the vulnerable population or the older population, which some of us are getting older, but getting closer to. So, yeah, that's not something that we would look to put out there on a daily basis or any basis, I don't think.
You see live Mr. Spazzato walk in reminding me that yesterday would have been election day, and now it's going to be on June 9th from 12 12 to 8 o'clock at night. And on a personal note, just to remind people that the track is open, but the turf field is not. So if you see anyone on the field, please let someone know, because there are some issues around it. Mr. Sposato, do you have an update? Larry Sposato, our town clerk.
I just wanted to remind folks that if you get a census in the mail that says Census 2020 on it with a blue logo, that's the federal census. I've spoken about this before, and people are sending them in to us, and we cannot accept them. We do our annual town census in January. The 2020 census is a 10-year census that the federal government does. So please send it to the appropriate place. And as far as your census goes here, if you sent it in, we've recorded it. So we do not need to get the 2020 census. And if you have any questions, give us a call and we can explain the differences. But again, it's a federal census and it needs to be mailed to the federal government, not here. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. I think that does it from here. Have a great day. Be safe. Again, Wednesday, May 6, 2020. Be good. Thanks.
Thank you.